Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and as promised, I did say I would try my best to keep you in loop with these last few days of the transfer window. And as that deadline looms on Friday night, Celtic are busy. We're trying to get signings over the line, including a bid that was put in this morning for a potential centre-back option. We've already spoke about them, but it looks as though it's one that Celtic want done this week. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about a couple of potential departures. It's Celtic transfer talk. The last week of it, ladies and gents. Soak it in, enjoy it, because soon there will be no more. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. We're nearly at 46,000 subscribers, so let's try and hit that before the deadline at 11 o'clock on Friday night. It would be absolutely magic if we could do that. We're trying to get towards 50k, of course. I would just like to say congratulations to our free giveaway winners. I done the draw last night, and in case you didn't see the post on my Twitter account or the community section of the channel, here was your winners. Congrats to Matthew, Levi and George, who are the free winners of the football shirt giveaway. I have been in touch, so check your emails and we'll get the prizes organised as soon as possible. Hopefully we have more giveaways to do on the channel over the next few months or so, so keep an eye out. And yeah, congratulations. Let's get into Celtic transfer talk. So, according to reports, Celtic have launched their bid for Austin Trusty of Sheffield United. We did talk about him last night on the live stream very briefly. People were asking for updates on him. We didn't have much at the time of streaming last night, but this morning, headlines suggest that Celtic have launched their $5 million Austin Trusty transfer bid as Sheffield United's resolve is being seriously tested. Scott Burns of the Daily Record broke the exclusive that Celtic have launched that £5 million bid, and that Record Sport understands that the Scottish champions have tabled their offer for the Sheffield United defender. They are reluctant to sell him, but Celtic are pushing hard to try and make the move happen. They've picked up a record club fee for Matt O'Reilly to Brighton, of course, and they're set to invest the bulk of that into Brendan Rodgers' squad. So, yeah, Sheffield United reluctant to sell the USA international. However, Celtic pushing hard to try and get it over the line. It's not going to be an easy one, but should Celtic not fanny around, which is never going to happen, it's one that we should be able to do with the power that we have here over an English Championship side. Now, Celtic have deployed a tactic to try and make this deal as smooth as possible. They have tried to sweeten things up by throwing Mikey Johnston in the direction of Sheffield United. Yes, reports emerged this morning that they have agreed a deal of £2.5 million to sign Mikey Johnston from Celtic, which, if you look at Anthony Joseph's quote here this morning saying it's anticipated that the agreement of this deal could smooth things over in Celtic's pursuit of Austin Trusty. That was around 1 o'clock this afternoon, so about 2 hours ago as time of recording. The deal has been agreed. The fee has been agreed of £2.5 million for Mikey Johnston. He's finally leaving Celtic on a permanent basis after all these years. But it's smart from Celtic to allow Sheffield United to maybe pull ahead of other clubs in signing him here, so that maybe we can sweeten things up in the pursuit of Austin Trusty. So we've deployed our tactic. Will it work? We'll need to wait and see. Of course, Austin Trusty only signed for Sheffield United last year for a fee of around £6 million, which means Sheffield United will want to recoup all of that, you would assume, especially playing 32 times in the Premier League. Yes, it was an unsuccessful campaign. They were relegated. They were very, very poor, and especially defensively they were poor. But at Sheffield United, they were never going to be great. That means they will want to recoup that money. They don't want to lose out here. Celtic will be expected to pay at least £6 million for the player, I would assume. He's only started one championship game thus far. He started in the League Cup. So he's not quite first choice, but he's already scored this season. He was a regular starter for them last season. They obviously value him quite highly, but listen, if Celtic take this seriously, we should be able to persuade him a move up here, and Sheffield United hopefully won't have a leg to stand on come the end of the week. So just to finish up, as of time of recording this video, We don't know if this initial £5 million bid has been accepted or rejected by Sheffield United yet, but I have a strong feeling that this first bid will be rejected. I think they'll want more than the £5 million. I think they'll want to recoup all the money they spent last year, plus make profit. They're also reluctant to sell, so I think they will play hardball with Celtic. I imagine this first bid will get rejected, but I do assume Celtic will go back in, especially after the Mikey Johnston business is finished. But hopefully we hear more soon. Listen, here's my last word for now. Austin Trusty seems to be a player that's split opinion in my comment section and online in general. People saying he's not good enough, that he's a poor signing, it's not much of an upgrade in scales, while other people delighted with the signing, people that are happy with it, including myself. I've already been on record saying I think this would be a really smart signing for Celtic. I really do. I think he'd be a big upgrade on Liam Scales, and I think that he's got a really high ceiling. Listen, he's a good age, he's 26, which means he's going to come to Celtic probably and play the best of his career here, maybe even the next 4 or 5 years, taking him through those prime years. He played really, really well in the MLS, that well that he got him a move to Arsenal, of all teams. Yeah, didn't pan out from there, he didn't kick a ball, but you've got to play well enough to get a move to a club like Arsenal, and he clearly has. He played 44 times in the Championship for Birmingham a couple of years ago. He played 32 times in the Premier League for Sheffield United last year. Sheffield United, a very poor side. It was obviously going to be a struggle for them and him in that team. He's clearly got talent there. You don't start 32 times in a Premier League season without being a talent. So I think that there's untapped potential there that hasn't been able to really come to fruition at a club like Sheffield United, with all due respect, in a struggling Premier League season. And I think that what he'd done in the MLS to get him that move to England in the first place shows that he is a good player. So I think it's a good player to go for. I think it'll be good. We'll watch how it goes. I'm assuming that it'll maybe take 2 or 3 bids, but we'll wait and see. Let's keep things in the good old US of A, shall we? Because last night on our live stream, while we were live, we said that we were still waiting on news in regards to Matthias Bogic and if Celtic had made their formal offer. Well, last night around 9:30, Anthony Joseph of Sky Sports reported this, that Celtic had made their formal bid for midfielder Matthias Bogic. The clubs have resumed their talks following the League's Cup defeat to Columbus Crew, where Bogic did pick up an assist for Olivier Giroud's goal. Negotiations for Bogic are ongoing between LAFC and Celtic, who are looking to bring in 2 midfielders before the deadline, after the bid for Arnie Engels as well. So as I said last night in the stream, I was fairly confident, and from what I was hearing, that we will end up landing Engels and Bogic, but it's nice to have that confirmation that Celtic have in fact went back in and reopened negotiations for the Polish midfielder. So yeah, looking good on that front for now. Hopefully there's no hiccups and we can wrap up business relatively quickly, but in case you were wondering where things stand with that, talks have reopened after the pause at the weekend, and yeah, he should hopefully be here by deadline day on Friday. The club announced this morning that Gustav Lagerbielke has left the club on loan for the season. He will join FC Twente in the Dutch Eredivisie for the remainder of the 2024-25 campaign. So good luck to him. He's the latest player due to depart. Next week when I'm back from Berlin, we're going to look at the squad in general and compare it to my tier list from the start of the season, or the start of the summer, when I said this is who should stay, this is who should go, and we should see what Celtic have actually done and what Brendan Rodgers has done. But he's gone. That's one of the outgoings. The other one we've already touched on, Mikey Johnston. It looks as though he is set to leave to join Sheffield United on a permanent transfer. So once again, best of luck to him. Look, listen, he's had a long career at Celtic, and for somebody who's still relatively young, not quite 18, 19 years of age anymore, but still relatively young, you know, he's been at Celtic and been in the first team since, 2017. He's had a 7-year Celtic career, and not too much to show for it. This had to happen for both parties. It had to happen for both parties years ago, and I wish him the absolute best, because he showed at West Brom that there is a talent in there. There is a player in there, and I just don't think it ever was due to happen for him at Celtic. So I don't say anything with any malice. I don't say anything with any ill intent, because I would have loved to see Mikey Johnston succeed at Celtic, but his fitness record, his injuries and everything else just piled up to make it pretty improbable for him. So hopefully Sheffield United is where he can get a clean break for his career and show people down there how good he can be, like he did at West Brom. So he looks to be off, Lagerbielke set to be off, and that's pretty much it for today. We'll see if anything more happens tonight. Right, that's it for today then. If you've enjoyed, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Austin Trusty, the latest name to be in the mix for Celtic signings this week. So hopefully by Friday we have 4 names through the door. We'll just need to wait and see. Anyway, take care. I'll see you all next time.